Okay, another best of 3 traditional Kaldheim draft. When I look at this pack, Magda jumps out to me. Magda is a very solid card. There's also a Demon Bolt in this pack, which makes me wonder what I like better. It's close between those two. I think Magda and Demon very close. I think I prefer Demon Bolt. Cards are basically similar. Another card that is in consideration might be the Glimpse. I think overall both Demon Hunter of Demon Bolt and Magda are better than the Glimpse, but it's a very solid card. But the question is, do I rather have the 2/1 or the Bolt? And I think I rather have the Bolt. It's better in more decks, I feel, and it's just a solid card overall. We'll pick up the Bolt and we'll go from there. This card in the pack I think is the Rune. There's not a lot of red here. I could take the Firewalker, cut my neighbor off of red. It's very likely that my neighbor took the rare out of my pack one. And definitely see picking the Firewalker here. It's a worse card than Rune of Might for sure though. Might be consideration for the land. I think that's close. I think it's either Firewalker to cut the red or move into green for Rune of Might. Not even moving green, right? It's just a solid card that is good with a Ruined Crown. I mean, Firewalker is good, but not second pick good, I think. We'll go with the Rune. Nobody familiar for me at the table. Okay, interesting pack. So no red cards, right? There's Robber and there's Guarded Fish's Return, but I don't think I would take any of those here. Vandal is definitely a consideration. Horizon Seeker is also a consideration. I think I'd take Vandal over that. The Jara Mirror Lake might actually be the best card here, but it's too committing. I think it's between these two, and I think I'm on Vandal then. It's not the best start to draft, but see where we can go from here. Ooh, Blade Warden is not horrible. It's also not very good. Like a C plus level card. I think I would pick Mistwalker over it if I wasn't so green already. Another pack without any red, so the Demon Bolt feels sketchier and sketchier to me. I think I'll take the Glade Warden here and just solidify myself in green. So I think green will be a color that I'm playing this draft. Question is red a splash color, or will red turn out to be my second color? That's to be seen. I think for the rest of pack 1 I'll be leaning towards green cards, just to have a solid green base to go into pack 2. Unless there's something very strong, of course, standing out. But I think Ravenous Lindworm is not only the strongest card in this pack, but it's also just a great pickup here. I wouldn't mind the Highland Forest. I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind, but Lindworm is just very solid in this format, I feel, and it's nice to pick one up here and further cut green also. Like that a lot. Yeah, too bad the land and the Lindworm were in the same pack there. There's a rather high probability that if the land would be in the next pack, probably be my pick. We'll see. We'll see what comes around. So far, quite some green has been passed to me. I saw the rune second pick. Okay. Not the strongest pack. So looking at my cards, looking what has been passed to me so far, blue feels a bit open. So it could be Run Ashore here. Could also be Dead Knell Berserker to hatch black-green elves, maybe. Could also be Broken Wings. I don't mind playing my first copy. It's also a fine sideboard card and it further cuts green. I don't think that's necessary anymore from this point on, but sending the message stronger, I guess. The land is a great pickup here, but blue is very open. So is black, it seems. I mean, none of these cards are great, but it's just the quantity of cards here that... Hey, Marnik, thanks. Hey, Jasper, welcome. Thanks for joining. And happy Sunday to you as well, Marnik. Yeah, I did change the title of the stream. It was something Call of Duty related, I think, before. But I switched it. Yeah, so far on the Gruul route, the Gruul land was pretty late. So here I could pick up the Brackneck Berserker, but I just don't like that card that much in Gruul. I rather have the red 3/2 that with the boast ability, or the green 3/2 with the boast ability. I think I'm going to hatch elves here by picking the Coma's Faithful. Just as a hatch. We'll see where it brings me. Escort Cavalry is pretty great in Gruul. Hasting out a Lindworm or a 5/5 or, well, even a 3/3 is already value. Yeah, I think it's the cavalry here. It's a quite late cavalry actually. One of the first decent red cards that I see pretty late in this pack 1. Also seeing the Recluse wheel here is nice, but I rather have the cavalry. Recluse is not that good in... ooh, this was the only red card in the pack, remember? So I was in doubt whether I wanted this card. Pick 2 actually, because I wanted to cut red. Because I had the bold pick 1. But I decided to pick up the Rune of Might, and now it wheels. So this is a very nice signal. Snowland or Riot? Sorry, I did not see that in time to react to it, Marnik. But so I already have a Broken Wings, but there are a lot of decks where I would not mind playing 2. So I could definitely see myself picking the Broken Wings for the sideboard. Don't like Vault Robber that much. I played it recently in a deck where it was quite good because it was a 5-color base red deck. I'll pick the Broken Wings for the sideboard here. Funeral Longboat is not bad in an Elves deck. I can't imagine boarding in Smashing Success. It has to be against a certain land then, because if I want to kill artifacts, I'm going to play the Broken Wings, of course. So I think I'll pick up the Longboat here. Sideboard. Dwarven Reinforcement is actually not a bad card in red-green. Especially if I pick up a Dwarven Hammer or something. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what I pick here. I think I'll pick the Ox. So it's more of an hate pick than the 5/6 giant, I feel. There we go. Ugh, this is a tough one. I think I'm on the bolt. I think Binding of the Old Gods is the best card. Runeforge Champion is nice with my Rune of Might, but I think picking up a second Demon Bolt here is just steady. It keeps me in the gruel route. Yeah, I think that's just... I mean, I saw the cavalry pretty late. The fire walker wheeled all around the table. So I got the feeling that red is pretty open. I think Slumber Mound was like pick 9 or something. Or pick 8. Pretty late. So I feel red is open. Might be a mistake. Ooh, Packmate here is a gift. I mean, there's a Spirit here, a Poison the Cup, an Outrider. This is a very strong pack. Some awesome uncommons. And the rare must have been even better because person to my left picked up the rare actually over the Clarion and the Poison the Cup. But this is a clean Packmate for me, and I'm pretty sure I'm Gruul now, given the 2 Demon Bolts and the Packmate. My card quality in both red and green is starting to become pretty high, so be a surprise to me if I'm moving off one of those 2 colors. Another Firewalker is not bad. I think another Glade Warden is kinda bad. I mean, I don't need many more 4-drops. I'm not a big Provoke the Trolls fan. I would definitely pick it up if it is still in the pack when it wheels, but the overall Firewalker is just a solid card and can run away with games. The Veil is also nice, but as long as I'm a 2-color deck, I don't need lands that much. The 3/2 Snow Elf in the previous spec over the Demon Bolt then? No. Because I hardly have any snow cards, snow lands, Marnik, so the 3/2 is most likely not going to be very good in my deck anyway. Most of the time it will be a 3/2, and I would be happy if I get like 1 counter off of it. And a 3/2 that puts 1 counter on a creature that enters the battlefield is not better than a Demon Bolt, not even close. I can definitely see me picking up the land or the rune here. The land if I want to splash black. The rune if I find a runed crown. But since I already have a Rune of Might, I'm leaning land. I don't need a pup and a mentor. I'd rather not have them in my main deck. So I'd rather pick up the land in case I need to splash black for something. Okay, 3 very sweet green cards. I think all these 3 are very, very much playable. There's also a Raven Wings, but I feel that I'm a bit lacking in the creature department currently. Which is why I don't mind picking up the Seeker or another Vandal. Vandal do get worse in multiples, and I also have a Broken Wings already. It could be a Glade Walker here. It's close. This one is close for me. I think I'll pick up the Vandal. Ooh, Carve is not bad with the Firewalkers and the Packmates. Ligiara is also a 3/3. I think it's Carve for me here. Other options are 3rd Broken Wings or a Snow-Covered Forest. Snow-Covered Forest is a good pick if the 3/2 Elf wheels. Yeah, rare picking indeed, Marnik. That's definitely the reason why I took the pathway there. You're totally right. So it's Carve or Snow-Covered Forest, but I'm trying Carve in more and more of my decks, so I'm also willing to try it out here. Nothing really special here. I could pick up the Berserker. It goes nice with the Carve. Could pick up the Mammoth Grove as a sideboard option. You can also see me taking the Swamp here, just as another black hatch, but playing black becomes more and more sketchier, I would say. I'll pick the Mammoth Grove as a sideboard card. That could be wrong. Okay, all the green and the red is gone from this pack. That's unfortunate. White seems pretty much open, so I'm taking the Battleshield Warrior here as a hatch, but I don't think I'm going to play white anytime soon. I could also pick up the Berserker if I'll end up elves. I think I'll do that. So if you wonder, like, how do I see myself ending up elves from here? Oh yeah, pack 2 was insanely more powerful than pack 1. That was totally true. Pack 2 had the Poison the Cup, the Clarion Spirit. Those were all better cards than the Demon Bolt that I took. So yeah, I totally agree. I'm taking this Snowland here as a hedge. I'll take the Roots here as an elf hedge. Take the Ragnar form here, I guess, or the Pet, but both of them I won't play, I assume. Okay. So white and blue seem very open, but so far I haven't seen any white or blue card that I would have liked. Like, I think the 2/2 that pumps the team was like the best card that I've seen so far. I didn't see any of the 1/2 first strike birds or any of the 2/1s that drop a 1/1 or like the actual strong commons. Most of what I've seen in white so far were bad cards. Jarl as a hedge. So let's say pack 3. I open a King Harold's Revenge. Or what's it called? The black-green rare. And then I pick up 2 more Jaspers along the way or something. Then we're definitely getting in a range where I might play black over green. Not the best pack for me. I think it's another rune. Not very happy with picking up another rune, but I think it's the pick here. Could also be another Glade Warden, but I just like the second rune, and I wouldn't mind a Raven Wings later on to get a rune touched. Attaching a rune to a Raider Scarf is also not bad. Becomes a 4/4 then. A 5/5 even, sorry. It becomes a 5/5 with Trample. That's actually pretty sweet. Rune of Mighting a Carve. Because a 5/5 with Trample is a real threat. I'm a bit low on playables, so I need quite a lot from this pack here. I'm hoping for the best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We currently have 15 playables, so I need 8 more playables. Ooh, okay. If the Demon Bolt was not here, oh, this is quite a good pack. I could play the Jasper, the Woodland Chasm, the Path, the Bloodski Massacre, the Demon Bolt. I think it's just Bolt. I mean, it's such a solid card, and I don't mind having 3. I definitely hope to see either the Path or the Jasper wheel. And if the Bloodsky Massacre somehow wheels, I might even splash it off the back. But the Demon Bolt was just the most solid card in that pack for me to pick. Ooh, Dwarven Hammer is a gift here. A very strong card. And the Slumber Mount is quite likely to wheel. That would be awesome. If I can pick up the Hammer now. Hammer is great with reinforcements. Of Might on Hammer. There's kind of a nombo, but I'll take it. I could definitely use Slumber Mount or another Vandal. Run Amok. Even Raider I would take on the wheel probably and play. There's also Raven Wings here. I would take off the wheel. So playing black is likely out of the question. I'm trying to get this Gruul deck together. I'll quickly put all the non-creature spells to the side. Get an idea of how my creature curve looks. Not the best curve in the world, honestly. I could take the Recluse. It crews the Carve. Box Flyers. Plow, yeah. I think I'm too far off of Plow. I'm considering the Cinderheart Giant, but Cinderheart Giant is quite nice if I get some lands into play with Carve. I think I'll hedge on the Giant, but this might be incorrect. Ooh, squash or cavalry? I think it's cavalry for me. I mean, squash is definitely great, but I already have 3 demon bolts. You can wonder, like, when does it become too much? At the same time, squash with the vandals and the glade warden, it's going to cost 2 quite a lot of the time. Close though. Close one. Aye. Seeing all the red and the green already dried up again is pretty savage. I think this would be an interesting draft log to look back at. Whether there were like clear signs for me to abandon my lane. Because it didn't feel that way. Like the way I wheeled the Firewalker pack 1 made me feel that red was open. I haven't seen any good red. Here's again like white cards, blue cards, black cards, but ugh. Take the shackles, this is a sideboard card. But I need some playables. Currently 9 creatures and the reinforcement makes it 10. Okay, the cavalry is these. Cavalry is a nice additional 2-drop that I like. Okay, so pick 8, so we're close to the wheel. Switch to blue-white, yeah. A bit late, Marnik, for that, I guess. Might play a Mammoth Grove. Best card in my sideboard currently. Could also be Roots. Not a lot of great elf cards. Oh, okay. So the Massacre wheels. So I think it is Massacre for me. And then try to splash it. I don't have many sources though. They also don't really need path. Okay, that's a nice wheel. I think I'm taking this over the Raven Wings, and the land is very strong. I might be playing towards slightly flooding out. I'm playing at least 17 lands. There are even instances where I play 18 because my card quality is so low. Definitely playing the land. Where is it? Pathway. Let me see. What do I currently have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 creatures. Very low on creatures. 6, 2 is 8, 9, 14, 15, 16, 17 lands. What creature do I play here? Don't have any. Wow. Might play a longboat, yeah. I think I have to. Definitely not the best deck. Do I play 18 lands instead of the longboat? Lands are pretty good with Firewalker. Lands are pretty good with Carve. Lands are pretty good with Lindworm and Giant. And lands are pretty good with the Slumber Mount. And lands also help me to have a more solid mana base than I currently have. I currently wrap 6, 7, 8, 9 red sources. That seems a bit much. So now it's 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 green, 2 black. I could go down 1 more red source and add 1 black. I think 3 lands for the 1 splash card is totally reasonable. I think I'll do it like this. But it's definitely not a good deck. 7, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, so I play 18 lands because I hardly have any playables. I guess this is it. But I need to be very careful with trading off my creatures because I hardly have any. Oh. Oh, sorry. Screens. Salad snack. Sure. I'm going to lower my camera a bit, folks. It's in front of my hand. It's a bit up to me, but best I can do. So not the worst hand. Fortunately, my 2-drop. Oh, okay, but together they can carve. The opponent has no attacks. Opponent plays out a land. Maybe Frostbite. Frostbite the cavalry again. Attack with the pup. Bit aggressive. Do I trade Run Amok for a cavalry? Don't think I do. Don't think I'd rather do that when I have the bolt up. I'll take the 1. Okay, and opponent not having a play there makes it even better. Call attack for 2. Lay out a carve. Play out the carve. Next turn I play out the cavalry, attack with the carve, and foretell the bolt probably. And then I'm playing a game with a bolt and a broken wing up. Be okay. Begin. Okay, Elven Bow is a nice broken wings target. Remember that the creature under it is a 1. Play out this, play out this. This. Attack for 4. Oh, that's not a land. Okay, that's an interesting block, but opponent rather loses the 1/1 than taking 4. A decision that you can make, but being on 18, I yeah, that is going to help you a lot. But opponent looking for one of the 2, I guess. Okay, interesting. So I think I'll just go with the carve again. Assume my opponent has a combat trick here for the pup. Oh, supposed a bit not work blocking. I've tried that before. Happening here. Tell this. Quite some powerful foretell cards here with the Mammoth Grove and the Deep Vault. Mammoth Grove is a very nice answer to any removal spell that my opponent has. Draw. Might just bolt that. My opponent attacks, I might just take 3 off of it. Getting a bolt away. Hexproof probably. +1/+1 hexproof. Yep. For 4. Happens. I'll allow it. For the carve attack again. If there's a land on top. I have found a land yet. Now I get one, and get a great one. Now I can kill the enemy's slumber mount with my own slumber mount. Which is strong. So if my opponent equips the elven bow to the Arnie, I just kill the Arnie in response, or at least try to kill it in response. Let's hope there's not another +1/+1 hexproof. Be a bit tilting. There's not. Reason I find that tilting is because I hardly play this card in any deck, so opponent having 2 in response to my first 2 spells is quite savage. Play this out as a black. This my turn. Carve, and I'll attack for 8. I was guessing whether giving this haste would be helpful in any way, but no, that would have not allowed me to attack with the carve. 5 mana for opponent. There is not a lot board state given the cards that I have in hand, but let's see. Okay, that's 3 damage to the face. No mana to equip. Best blocker. Fortunate. The Glade Warden. I'll use it to equip the carve. Attack with everything. I feel like this is quite the lethal. Feels annoying. Treachery might be something I want to board in. The +1/+2 from the Elven Bow is pretty strong. I wouldn't mind shackles to get in some extra damage and to remove the bow. I already have a Broken Wings though, so that. I'm currently playing 18 lands. I might continue that, given that my opponent had 2 slumber mounts as well. Very important that I reach 7 lands before opponent does. I think I just replayed it. Replay it like this. Oh, I also have 2 Vandals. No, I'm never going to shackles. I could board out the Broken Wings. Board something else in. But I'm not entirely sure what that would be. Like, opponent hasn't shown me any flyers so far. I'll board it out, put a longbow. Opponent is on the play, so it's nice to have an additional blocker in the form of the longboat. Whatever comes to it. And the Broken Wings just don't feel right against the Gruul deck. That hardly showed me any. Cavalry on 2, Mammoth Grove on 3, and then I'll go there. 3 land is nice. It's quite likely that I'm able to slumber mount my opponent's slumber mount again. Given the fact that I'm not only running 18 lands, but I also have double slumber mount in the deck. So that's quite nice with the cavalry. I think I'll start off with the longboat and then 3 cavalry. Yeah, I think that's the play. There's no real reason for me to jump the pup with the cavalry and then lose it to +1/+1 and hexproof spell or something. A very useful proposition. Opponent missed the second land drop, so this feels like a one game. Yeah. Okay. Opponent kept a one lander and got punished. Quite a gamble, honestly. One lander if you're on the play. I mean, you have one draw to find your second land and then throw. Okay. I think there's time for more. I have to get back to the family at a second match. Yeah, so the deck has some very strong cards and also some cards that are a lot less good. Yeah, who needs a good deck indeed, Marnik, if your opponent keeps a one lander especially. This is a keep. It's close, but it's a keep. I have a lot of stuff to do on turn 2. I mean, even squash is a turn 2 play if I have Vandal on the I think my turn 2 will be apart from reinforcements for Tel. I'd rather get a bit more Vandal value than just playing it out to have squash up. Opponent called Dark Lizard 46. Another land, and it's a spell that I'm not going to play anytime soon. I would not mind to draw some lands the upcoming future. I mean, keeping a 2-lander with an 80-land deck is pretty reasonable. Berserker. I might double block that if it attacks. Portal, so that might be a Behold or a Augury Raven. Berserker not attacking. I could go Vandal, leave up Squash. I think that's the right thing to do. Especially given the fact that I have the Broken Wings up. Vandal, up the Squash. In case my opponent wants to blow me out with a Berserker double spell. What I expect opponent to do is cast a spell in main phase 1. Yeah. Attack with the Berserker. And then threaten in... yeah, okay, that's a double spell. This is unfortunate, I think, right? Opponent should have beat with the Berserker and then play the effigy after. I think I'm just going to squash the Berserker here. It's not really a great reason to take 3 damage off of it. Opponent can definitely have a Disdainful Stroke up. Quite unfortunate, but I take it. Okay. Spell. Plays a longboat. Okay. I like to do. I could. I think I'm Rune of Mighting Foretelling for now. There are a couple of options. Could just keep Broken Wings up and see what my opponent is going to do. I think it's just better to try and find a land. Put it on the 1. Make it a 3/2. Not a land. Now the question becomes, do I attack with the 3/2? I don't think so, because then I trade it off with the 2-3. Rather not. At the same time, my opponent is quite likely to let it go. Snow is pretty white on the mountainside. To be seen. Yeah. Yeah, I guessed that was going to happen. See if I can put that thought in words. So I left 2 mana up, a red and a green. Red and a green are colors with quite some combat tricks. Especially the run amok was something that I threatened there. I think my opponent feels a bit behind and rather kept the effigy to cruise longboat. Okay. If I was opponent, I would probably attack. I'm not sure. Yeah, I would probably attack with the longboat. Yeah. Maybe a longboat and effigy even. Okay, we're just doing longboat, so trading off the longboat for one of mine and. Oh. So this is interesting. I think I want my Firewalker out because I think I want to start using the. So I think I'll attack with the 3-2 again, bolt a recruiter, play out the Firewalker. I think that's. At the same time, I can also leave the 3-2 back because I do have a broken wings for Scorn effigy eventually. Right? What can my opponent get back? Another Berserker. That's pretty strong. Don't think I want that. I think I'll offer my 3-2. Sketchy. Sketchy attack. If opponent trades the effigy, I'd rather not have that happen. But I'm still threatening a lot of combat tricks here. Seems that I have my opponent convinced that I have a run amok in hand. And I'm not going to tell my opponent that's not the case. Pretty hard for my opponent to double spell here. Okay, Egan is quite an insane draw. Burger can double block this, but I'm not. Let me see. I think I'll just play out the Carve here and leave it at that. My opponent is going to deal me 6 with the Aegon for sure, and I rather not get any more cards in my opponent's graveyard. I'd rather stay out of combat for a while. Opponent exiles 2 here. There are now 2 cards. There's 1 card left, right? So opponent needs a spell out of hand here if I don't block anything. I'm pretty likely to not. Here I think 9, 10, 11. Then next turn Aegon dies. If I take 11, go down to 6. Best. Creatures. Is going on the stack after the target? I think it is, right? I can. My opponent can change control of the mist and the root. Okay, the 3-3 attacks. It doesn't have menace. I can easily block it with the Carve. But then Aegon stays on the battlefield for one more turn. At the same time, who cares, right? I can just kill the 3/3. This needs 2 more turns to go to the graveyard. Share crit type. My opponent doesn't have any. Ah, miss. Oh, I think I'll just block this. Like, opponent is not attacking with the Aegon anyway. So this is just a way for me to eat the thing for free. 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I'm close. I think I'd rather just cast a Lindworm. Gain some point of life and end the turn. And now it all depends on my opponent's draw, of course. Me, it looks like we're winning this first game. Hey, taken. I mean, we aren't there yet, but pretty likely. What are we doing, opponent? Are we changing an enchantment for the rune? I don't think you can replace the enchantments, right? Can you? Guess we're attacking with a Firewalker here, but not. Okay, that dies. I just kill a black sword. Right? Shall I just let this happen first? Like, if I kill a black source, and this is like a bounce spell in blue, then there's certainly 2 cards in the grave, so I have to let that result. Another land. Attacking. Of course, matter what I target there and how I feel about it. So 14 damage coming his or her way, quite a lot. Fortunate. Yeah, I put it on top. I don't mind buying the lint. Run a short too good. Sure. Oh, that's unfortunate because now it's on top, right? So this find a land. Pretty smart of opponent. I like that. Liked how those cards interacted. I want my Lindworm on top. That's. Think I'm blocking the Firewalker here with my Glade Warden. I mean, I don't love it. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's what happens with Broken Wings late game, especially if there are no targets. Yeah, so I'm definitely blocking the Firewalker here. My opponent draw cards. Too bad of the Glade Warden, but okay. First game in the pocket. So opponent is black control-ish. Aegon, Trickster, Gold Heist, Renishaw. I saw Disciple. The Brodsky Berserkers are pretty interesting in the deck because the deck contains quite some higher mana things. Let's see. What is good here? The Broken Wings was clearly not very good. I think I'll board in another Mammoth Grove against an opponent that is discarding your cards. Being able to foretell your cards away without having to cast them is pretty strong. I think that is the play here. Let's play around Run Ashore a bit. My opponent with 6 mana up will be pretty... quite some alarm bells will be enough. Ooh, that's an unfortunate hand. I have to bin this, I feel. I'm pretty likely to draw a second land. I have 18. So out of these 33 cards, there's 17 lands. That is more than half. So I'm pretty likely to hit my I'm like 75%, above 75% hit my second land on turn 2. But after that I'm just 50-50ing every other land drop, right? So I'm pretty unlikely to ever hit a giant, for example. I think it's a mulligan. I think I don't need to keep these kind of hands. Okay, this is a way better hand. I'm going to play my Vandal on 2, Massacre on 3, attack with the Vandal and the 2/3, and hopefully draw some cards that way. That's the game plan, at least. If I need to discard something from this hand, I would be quite sad. Yeah, indeed, Marnik. That was those are the things that I struggle with from time to time. But indeed, target goes on the stack, and then you go from there. Sometimes there are these moments in the game I don't grasp the rules for the full 100%, or at least I have a good feeling, but I'm not 100% sure. This is also a Berserker, right? So that's even better than the Vandal. I think I do, Marnik. I honestly thought about doing the L1 course, like trying to be an L1 and then not doing the in practice things. But just I think it wouldn't hurt me to have the knowledge of an L1 judge. Unsure what opponent has. It could be a bounce spell. The opponent could definitely bounce the 2/3 here. That prevents me from drawing a card next turn. Okay. That prevents 2 damage, but it's not a blocker, so that's sad about it. Okay, that's the bounce spell that I was anticipating. Opponent has 2 cards left in hand. But not planning on blocking here. I get... Oh, okay. That is a blocker. I think I masked Vandal here. Squash the 3/2 to keep my own Berserker alive. Deck with 5, draw a card, draw another Vandal. That's freaking great. But Marnie, do you have like Is there like a level 1 course that you followed? Is there like course material, like maybe presentations or a booklet or like something that you could share? Like just I'm blocking here because I want the Vandal to die actually. Okay. I think this is... Ooh, I can't cast Lindworm. Pretty savage actually. That is pretty savage. So, might on the Vandal then. See if I can draw a card. Yeah, not having 2 green there is hurtful. Picking up the bolt here is great. Do I keep the mana? It stays around, right? Turn you don't. Okay. This is freaking awesome. I'll let that resolve. Demon bolt it. Dice. 4. 1 card in hand and a 1/2 on board. Okay, judgeacademy.com. I'll definitely check that out, Marnik. Yeah, indeed. Maybe the stuff around the tournaments is not required, say, or how do you say this? Like, it's not a necessity, but it also cannot hurt, right? To bit. Hey. Yeah. Thumbs up even mute. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Immediately made a misplay there. I should have played the worm, and then gave the worm haste prob. Deal some extra damage. So opponent is quite likely to just jump the worm here. I think I'll just attack with Lindworm. There, I don't have enough mana to give this haste and then use the counters. Fortunate. I think I'll just play out this and then next turn I can use the ability and play the Firewalker. Just attack with the 6/6 and opponent will most likely just with a 1/2. Nothing special here. Okay, so you were already judged when the academy launched. Don't know if the courses are open to public, which I get. I mean, I'll see. I'll check it out. And indeed, Justin might be a nice point of contact. And honestly, the intention here is not to be a judge. The intention here is to get better at the game. This is lethal, right? Oh no, it's not lethal, of course. Opponent can block like that. Don't think there's any reason to play out my creature here. If this is a Blood in the Snow top deck, then I'm very happy I did not play out my creature there. There's no reason to play out the 3/2 there.